Photoshop has some new updates, and what I want to do is I want to look at these updates and see if they're actually good or not. So if you're looking for a video that tells you that all these updates are cool, there are other channels that do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to look at these new updates and I'm going to try them out and see if they actually work or not. So let's just jump right into Photoshop and try them out. All right, the first thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a photo, and I have this photo of this all. And the first feature what I want to try is the generated fill. It's got an update that it's now better, and you can use images, reference images to add to your photo. So that's the first thing I want to try. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in on this photo and I'm going to select an area. So let's say I want to edit this area here. I want to add another bird in this area. If you go to generated fill, you can see we have generated fill here. We click on that one and we have reference image. And here we can add an image to our existing image. So if I click on reference image, I can upload the image. And let's say I want to add this bird here, this one. I want to add this to my composite. So let's click on open. And the next thing what we could do is we can select from object. It's going to remove the background as you see here, or we can add the whole image. Now, obviously, I just want to have the object, so that's just the bird. And then we can select from swap to selected area. This means that it's going to swap something in that area with that bird, or it's going to place that in the area. I just want to place it, so let's click on place in selected area, and then we're going to click on generate with no prompt, and let's see the result. And there is the result. I wouldn't call this a pretty good result. We can check the other ones. Let's see this one. I mean, it's fine, but maybe not perfect like I want it to be. And this one looks weird. I don't know what the hell is going on there, but you can see this doesn't work so well. I mean, it's okay to just have like an example how something should look, but to use this on a professional base, I wouldn't use this. I think I can do this better if I would do this myself manually. So maybe it's the photo, or maybe I'm just looking at this from a designer perspective. But let's try another photo just to see if this actually works on other photos, because we can use like really simple photos and place something on the table. And I mean, that's not difficult to try out. But what if we want to do this on a kind of difficult photo? Let's say this one. I want to have it on this photo. This photo isn't even the greatest quality, but that's good because we want to try this out in different photos. Let's say I want to place a bird here. I have a feeling I have to select the area, like the size I want to make the bird. So let's make it a bit smaller like that. And I'm going to go to generative fill and I'm going to use another one. Let's use this osprey. And there it is. And look at that. Somehow it added the stick, probably because the stick was in the original photo, I think. Let's look at this one. You can also see the stick here, but this one is slightly better, but it has like two heads. I'm not sure why. And this one is the most normal one, I think, but still that stick is there, so it still has some flaws like you can see in this image. So I think it could work on some images, but definitely not on everything. And you can see the difference in quality. This leopard is pretty bad quality, the photo, but this one is better. So you can see there is a difference in quality also. Now let's go back to the all, and the next feature what I want to show you is, let me get rid of this all, and the next feature, I think that one could be good, so let's get rid of that. Let's say I want to make this canvas a bit bigger like that, because I want to have this all a bit smaller in the center, but I crop this image too much, but I want to have some more space. Let's even make it even more like that. Let's say I want to expand this. So usually we will select this area. Let's say select inverse, and then we go to generate a fill, and let's go to the models here. And now we have Adobe Firefly Fill and Expand release January 2026. So this is the new one, and this should work better. It should be 2K instead of 1K, I think. And then we just click on generate and it should make these areas better. And there it is. I think this looks pretty good. I like this result. Let's zoom in here. You can also see this blur here, and the tree in the background, it's sharper like there. So that's pretty good. And if you zoom in here, and you can disable enable this layer just to see where it starts. And I actually can see the difference. So this one is really good. Only if you zoom in like a lot, like here, you start to see this original photo is a bit different from this. But I think for digital purposes, when you put this online, you're not going to notice any of this. If you're going to print this like a huge size, you might notice this. But other than that, I think it looks pretty good. So this one is a good update. Now there are a couple more features in Photoshop. We have new adjustment layers. So let's go back into Photoshop, and I'm gonna add an adjustment layer. And when I click on adjustment layers, we now have clarity and dehaze and grain. Now the clarity and dehaze, I think this is pretty good if you want to add some clarity to your photo. Let's say like that. You can see it starts to pop out, or you get rid of some clarity. And you can play with these one. Let's say you want to add some dehaze like that to make it more like these black tones. And if you see the before and after, it's kind of more punchy when you have it like this. So this is pretty good. This should be in Camera Raw, but now you can do it in these layers. That means that you can edit this layer, you can brush some parts away that you don't need and stuff like that. So it's a lot better to have this inside Photoshop itself and not only in Camera Raw, because you can really control this layer easily and faster. So this is a pretty good one. The other one is grain. I'm adding some grain to this photo just to make this more like a real photo. So this works pretty good when you create composites. You add some grain just to bring everything better together. On photos like this, you probably won't even need it unless you're really into this kind of effect. But usually we try to remove grain for photos, but sometimes it might be good to add some grain, like when you're compositing. Now there's one more update that got better, and that is the remove tool. So let's go back into Photoshop, and I'm gonna select the remove tool. Let's make sure we have auto here selected. And let's say I wanna remove this all. Let me put this in a new layer, and I'm gonna brush here around this all. Let's say I want to remove this all, and there is the result. The all got removed. Let me zoom in here so we can see this better. We can enable and disable this to see the results. Look at that, it looks great. I think there's nothing to tell about this, although I can see something here. Look at that, you can see the difference before and after. When you zoom in here, it doesn't look great. Again, if you're going to use this on big prints, stuff like that, you will notice it. But if you're going to use it like this, small digital files, it's probably fine. So now the generated fill is also updated. So if you want to place something with AI in your photo, let's say I want to place an all here. I'm going to place an AI generated all. So I first remove a real all, and then I place a real all. Let's use the Firefly, the latest update. And then I'm gonna write all, and let's just click on generate and see the result. And there is the all. I think it looks pretty good, because the previous model, I don't know if you can remember the previous Firefly models, those look like trash. But I still think Photoshop is way behind those other AI tools that create really better results than Photoshop itself, or actually Firefly. So something like Google Nana Banana is a lot better to me. So that wraps it up for today. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one.